I don't think it's clicking for a lot of people that the cost of our basic necessities is starting to outpace our paychecks. Gas, utilities, groceries, property tax, rent. It's all adding up. Even if you had a good job and it paid for all those things before, it's no longer relevant. People are going into debt just to cover their basic necessities.
Filled up the gas tank, got a 12-pack and a burrito, $123. Why am I still in this country? I'm not sure. 123 USD in Mexico, that's a used Toyota Camry. Adios.
And stop blaming people for the way the economy is. We don't need to cut back on nothing else. We done cut back on everything. There's nothing else left. It's just not enough. Y'all telling me that now it's the car note. No, your car note might probably too high. Bro, I have a Kia. My shit's only $400 something. The insurance only like $150. I can't get it no lower. That's as low as it's gonna go, bro. It's the economy. It's nothing that I'm doing. I'm not buying nothing extra. I'm not taking flights. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not overspending on lunch, luxuries, goods, nothing. Everything just too high. It's not enough money in circulation. Make the prices go down. That's what'll fix it. It's not nothing I'm doing.
Hey everyone, don't waste your time and let's go start this video and watch this video.
Need to be more honest about the current state of this economy and the job market because not enough of us are actually sharing the truth. I'm going to tag the creator who inspired me to even share my point of view on the topic. It's Casanova Brown. So go to his page and watch his video because he shares a really honest perspective about this topic. And what he essentially was saying is that the current state of the job market is essentially manufactured. Like this whole thing around job scarcity, and so many people in the job market can't find jobs. Like they're going 6 months, 1 month, 2 years, just a really long time, longer than usual, that people are going without a job. The person that always say with a job, they ain't got one. You know what I mean? So that's where it's the problem. And based on what I can see, I can tell you a few things. And I think I'm going to give you 3 main points. And the first one's going to be this. I agree with the job scarcity is manufactured. And the reason why is because I believe that, and this is my opinion only, I believe that there is a force that a lot of these organizations, corporations are forcing people into the job market, creating less full-time positions, but creating more contract work. And the reason why is because full-time employees are expensive. So working for a US-based employer and you are a US-based worker, you have to understand, right? Inflation is crazy right now and it has been for a while. So that means it's going to cost more. We're going to ask for more. We're going to request more. And in good faith, an organization has to at least give you a merit increase like every year, right? So when you forego hiring full-time employees and you move into a contract type situation, that's less that they have to pay in benefits. That's less liability for them as well, because there are certain laws, labor laws like that they don't have to necessarily worry about. And so I think that they're essentially just forcing many of us into a situation where, we're going to create this manufactured job scarcity so that you don't find a full-time role and you have to go back into the workforce as a contractor so that way we can get the same work for less. Now, the second thing that I will say, and what I'm noticing, is that a lot of organizations, you only really see this in customer service based type of organizations or departments, right? You have BPOs. This means that organizations are outsourcing the work. So when you call AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever on the phone, you get somebody who may be overseas, right? This doesn't mean that they can't do the job just as well as someone who is based in the US. But what it means is, again, instead of hiring 10 full-time employees for their contact center, they're hiring 50 for half the price of those 10. Okay. So they can hire literally 20, 100 contract workers for $2,000 overseas. In the US, that's 200,000. Right. So they're looking at it from the perspective of, we still need labor. So don't be fooled. These companies are still hiring. Right. they're just not hiring they're not hiring full-time employees, they're hiring contractors. And the same, like the rules that would apply to hiring a full-time employee don't apply to a contract worker. That's my 2 cents. And I'm hoping that eventually this is something that we can sound the alarm on, because if they're not hiring us, like, what do we do? What do we do?
Something has changed in America. People aren't just talking about today's problems anymore. They're preparing for what might happen next. Families are watching their spending more carefully. Workers are thinking about job security. Homeowners are paying attention to interest rates and expenses. And more people are asking the same uncomfortable question. What if things get even harder from here? That's the uncertainty we're going to break down today. For many households, financial pressure doesn't come from one single expense. It's the combination. Housing can take a large portion of a family's income. Groceries cost money every week. Insurance, utilities, transportation, healthcare, and other bills continue competing for the same paycheck. When several expenses rise at once, people naturally become more cautious. Instead of spending everything they earn, some households start building emergency savings, cutting unnecessary purchases, delaying major expenses, or looking for additional sources of income. It's less about panic and more about uncertainty. Another major concern is employment. Even when unemployment isn't exploding, workers can still feel nervous when companies announce restructuring layoffs, reduced hours, or hiring slowdowns. And technology is adding another layer to the conversation. Artificial intelligence and automation are changing how businesses operate, creating opportunities in some industries while raising questions about certain jobs. For workers, the message is becoming clear. Having a job today doesn't always mean knowing exactly what the next few years will look like. That's why skills savings and flexibility are becoming increasingly important.
We were sold a lie. We were told that if we go to college, we get a better education, and we just work really hard, we could have the American dream. That's just not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. I did that. I got a better education. I got a job that's supposed to be good. I worked hard. And honestly, I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life. And I'm probably the brokest I've ever been. Inflation is out of control. Inflation is the problem. Our wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. Gas is $5 a gallon. Rent is astronomical. Forget buying a fucking house. It's not possible. Groceries, take out a loan. Take out a fucking loan if you want to buy groceries on a monthly basis. And I have a child, so I have to buy groceries on almost a weekly basis, if not, maybe every 2 weeks. It's just bullshit. We can't keep doing things the way that our parents, our grandparents did things. We have to change something. Something has to change.
People think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard. Because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
I just want to get ahead in life. I just want to get ahead in life. And I'm doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing. We're working, we're paying our bills, we're barely paying bills. Our utility payment a month is almost as much as our mortgage. Sometimes it's as much as our mortgage. So we're just barely paying bills. And heaven forbid something fucking come up. Like needing a tooth fucking pulled. I know you see that. But it's okay. Because my husband has a really good job. And he has insurance. What a fucking joke. It's okay, guys. We're doing so good in life that we're making more money than we've ever made in our life. It's okay, guys, because we're all covered on insurance. It's okay, guys, because we should be making enough money with our health coverage and our dental insurance that we should be able to pay our fucking bills and we should be able to pay our fucking groceries. We should be able to go to the dentist and use our fucking dental insurance. No, it's fine. It's fine. We have the dental insurance, but that'll be $800 fucking dollars to have that tooth pulled. Because the insurance isn't actually going to pay for it. I have to pay for it up front. I have to pay the entire bill up front, and then the insurance might reimburse me. And I said, let's go ahead and schedule an appointment, right? We'll go ahead and put you on our schedule. We just need you to pay the total today. Today. It's fine.
6 figures is no longer enough. I don't know how y'all are surviving in the US economy. I don't know how people are making it. For some reason, all of these videos keep popping up on my feed about people losing their jobs and can't sell their house, groceries are too high, they work in 3 jobs and it's still not enough. And it's just like, I don't even search this stuff, but the algorithm must know, like, it's getting hard. It's getting hard for all of us. Even if you make 6 figures, even if you make 100,000, 200,000, like, it's literally not enough, because it seems like everything continues to go up. Everything except our salaries continue to go up. So I just want to know, let's have a conversation in the comment section. Who is doing okay? Who is struggling? Who is at wit's end? Who is like, I'm this close to living out of my car. I'm this close to. And then the thing is, it's a domino effect, because as soon as people get to their wits end point to where it's like, I'm willing to do whatever I gotta do to survive, to feed my family. And this is why you have the domino effect of all the violence, all the this and that. It's because everything is trickling down. We literally cannot survive. And if you have not invested, if you don't have any savings, if you don't have any assets, if you've been living paycheck to paycheck before all of this, now you're going into debt, or some people can't even borrow money. Like, we are in literal hard times. If you are not in the United States, let me know where you are and how the economy is for you. But we're in bad times. We're in hard times with the United States economy, the job market. I'm so grateful that I have a job, that I make the money that I do, but none of it is guaranteed. None of it's guaranteed. We could wake up tomorrow and be like, all these people getting laid off back to back. I've seen videos. People are like getting laid off for 4 times in 2 years. It's really bad. How y'all holding up?
You can see this uncertainty in everyday behavior. People are comparing prices more carefully. They're searching for discounts. They're cooking more meals at home. They're delaying purchases they don't absolutely need. Some families are also reconsidering major financial decisions, including buying homes, taking on new debt, or purchasing expensive vehicles. And there's a reason. When the future feels uncertain, people generally become less willing to make financial commitments they might struggle to maintain later. That doesn't necessarily mean Americans believe disaster is coming. It means they're trying to create a little more breathing room. This is where the idea of preparation becomes important. Being prepared doesn't necessarily mean stockpiling everything or expecting the worst. For many families, preparation simply means having an emergency fund, reducing unnecessary debt, keeping important documents organized, learning useful skills, and having a backup plan if income changes. The bigger lesson is financial resilience. If something unexpected happens, a job change, a major repair, or a sudden expense, households with some financial flexibility may have more options than those living paycheck to paycheck. And that's why preparation is becoming a bigger part of the conversation. Nobody knows exactly what the future holds. There are reasons to be concerned, but there are also reasons not to assume the worst. Economic conditions can change, businesses adapt, workers learn new skills, markets recover and families adjust. The important question isn't whether Americans should panic, it's whether they should be prepared. So here's my question for you. Are you personally preparing for tougher economic times, or do you believe the current concerns are being exaggerated? Tell us what you're doing or what you think people should be doing in the comments below.
And this video is made for entertainment purpose only. Like and follow and subscribe and comment this video